Hand of the day.
Hey guys, it's Alec Torelli, and welcome to an episode of the Hand of the Day, brought to you by 888 Poker. Today's hand comes from a cash game at Live at the Bike, where we're playing 5-10 No Limit Hold'em, but there's usually always a straddle, so it's really effectively a 3-blind game, 5-10-20. I am under the gun, one of the first hands of the night with Ace-Queen offsuit. I make a big open to 100, there's a straddle, I'm in early position, I want to raise bigger, and I get 4 callers. And Israeli Ron calls in the big blind, and I think in this hand he calls blind, so he's pretty much has any 2 cards, and I think that's really important going into what happens later. So we take it 5 ways to the flop. The flop comes 7-4 deuce rainbow, unlikely to have connected with anyone, myself included, but because I raised under the gun, I'm still repping a lot of strength, and I'm going to be betting here with all my overpairs, so I should be betting with some bluffs as well. Gets checked to me, I decide to bet out 245, a little over half the pot. It gets folded around to Israeli Ron, who again still has any 2 cards in the deck because he called blind pre-flop. Peeks down at his hand, a little bit of chatter between him and I, and he raises it up to 650. Now at this point, of course, he can't have any 2 cards because some of the cards he's just going to fold. But at the same time, there are a lot more hands that he could have in his range that wouldn't be there pre-flop. He could have like King Deuce or a 4 or a lot of 7s that he might have folded pre-flop if he had looked at his hand. So in this spot, I think that it's likely that he connected with the board in some fashion, and maybe he's just trying to take the lead in the hand, maybe he's trying to just get me to fold 2 overcards, or just sort of find out where he's at. There's a lot of hands that he could be raising here with for different reasons, but I don't think a raise necessarily means that he has an absolute monster. Even though he could still have hands like 7 deuce offsuit, where he would have normally folded them pre-flop, if he can have those hands, he could also have a lot of other hands like 7-3 offsuit. The point is, I think that there's a good chance he's ahead right now, even though there's still a lot of draws he could have. He can still have like 6-5, 8-5, 5-3, all those hands that I'm ahead of. I have, 50% equity against those hands. But even if he has hands like a 7, I think he's gonna fold if I shove almost always. The only hands I think he's really gonna call with here are, of course, if he has something like 2 kings or whatever, sure, he's gonna call. And he's also going to call with 2 pairs and sets. But I think he's pretty much going to fold every other 1 pair type of hand, even if he has something like 7-9 and he's just check raising because he has top pair. I raised under the gun and I'm shoving all in for like 2,500. I don't think he's just going to call it off with a 7 or a 4 or a deuce, because most of the time he's going to be behind. It would be a bad call. I don't think I'm bluffing there often enough. I don't think I'm c-betting into 5 people that often with completely nothing. And even if he does call with a 7, I still have like 25-30% equity with 2 overcards and a backdoor straight draw. So I'm not totally dead unless he has 2 pair or a set. So I think for a minute I decide to ship it in, and unfortunately he has the 7-4 offsuit. 2 pair, I'm drawing pretty close to dead, and I do not improve. But I think this hand is interesting because a lot of times in live cash games you're playing in situations that aren't by the book, and you still have to figure out how to use principles of concepts and decision making to make good decisions at the table. So when someone's range is extremely wide, like they call blind or they're in the straddle, it changes the way that the hand is sort of played. And I think in this hand, because he could have so many different hands, right? He could have so many hands, and I don't know how he's going to react with those hands on the flop. I've never played with him before, so I'm not sure exactly what he's going to do. I still think he could be check raising a lot of those hands. And I think that with my image, and he knows me as a good, solid professional, I think I'm going to get him to fold those if I shove all in, and hopefully, rightfully so. Anyway, I wish he would have had something like 1 pair. I could have seen what he would do, but unfortunately, I got stacked. That's it. Rebuy, next hand. It was a fun game. I've enjoyed playing it live at the bike, and I hope you enjoyed this episode of The Hand of the Day. If you guys have hands you'd like me to review, please send them to me on my blog, alectorelli.com. You can click on poker and submit your hands. I'll take the best ones and feature them here on this channel. And subscribe to my channel, putting out a lot of new good content here. I hope you enjoy it. Leave me your thoughts in a comment below. Let me know what you would have done. And I will see you guys next week on The Hand of the Day. Cheers.